Today we are going to start with the topic called branch accounting. Okay, so in this topic, the main objectives are we should know how this books of accounts of branch account is maintained. Okay, how we calculate the profit or loss of different branches. What are the different types of branches you are going to understand in this topic, and how the basically the accounting treatment of dependent branch we are going to do in this topic. Okay, independent branch is not in our syllabus. Okay, beta, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's start with the branch accounting then. So what do you mean by branch? First of all, beta, why this branch is opened? Okay, the main reason why this branch accounting is done or branches are opened, just a simple reason: to increase your sale, to earn more and more profit, to reach out to those customers who are not in your locality. Okay, to reach out to a different parts of the cities. Okay, to reach out to the different parts of the country. Fine. So that is the main aim of opening the branch. Okay, and again, if you know this, that branch can be open in different countries also, that depend upon your scale of business you are doing. Okay, so we can have different branches in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Okay, different part of your state. That depends which type of business you are doing, and again, what is your aim and how you are going to reach to the customer. Okay, the next part in the branch account is the branch simply can be defined as any section of the corporate or any other form of enterprise geographically separated from rest of the business but controlled by, see, the branch is always controlled by head office. Okay, that head office may be located any central point or any place. The main branch can be work as a head office also, or for head office we have a separate head office who is only doing the work of maintaining records of all the branches and managing the records or guiding the issue guidelines for the branches. Okay, so generally beta, in every branch we appoint one head, we called him as branch manager. That branch manager is generally responsible for all the activities of the branches. Okay, if there is a reduction in, if there is a sale drop, then that person is accountable. Okay, if there is any issue happens to that branch, okay, again that branch manager is responsible. Now this branch manager is appointed basically on two bases, we can say. One, where you appoint branch manager and give him a fixed amount of salary, and one, we can say, when you appoint the branch manager, apart from that salary you give him some commission also, which is directly related with the sales. If there is a more sale, then he will get fixed salary, plus in addition to that he will get commission also. Are you aware of this? Yes or no? If you give additional commission, na beta, so he will put his 100% effort. Okay, and try to increase more and more sale. Yes or no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Then okay, what happened? Okay, so what is the main objective of keeping the branch account? Okay, the main objective of keeping branch account is depend on the nature of business or specific need of the particular branch. See, in the branch accounting, there are different methods, beta. There are basically two methods we have, that is debtors method and stock and debtor method. So in debtors method, you simply make a one common account. We call it as branch account. And in stock and debtors method, you prepare, you means your head office basically prepares the accounts of each and every branch in detail. So that totally depends what is the nature of your business and to what extent you want to keep the control on the branch. Okay, The next objective maybe preparing of branch account is to know the profit and loss of each and every branch. Is it true or not? Every business wants to know what is the profit is earned by the that particular organization. But here we have different branches throughout the country, throughout the world, or throughout the nation, throughout the state. So we also supposed to know, we want to know that which branch is more profitable or which branch is giving me more profit, and which branch is continuously suffering from loss, or which branch is just giving me a break even. Correct? So on the basis of that profit and all, you can make a decision to just continue with the branch or just to stop the branch who are not performing well, or continuously those who are suffering losses. Yes or no? Those branches who are continuous going through the losses, we should not continue with those branch, na? Yes or no? We should
Yes,
close down those branch.
yes,
Correct? So
yes.
if you don't know what is the profit or loss, you're not able to take those decisions. Okay, beta? The next aim is to understand or to find out what is the financial position of each and every branch. There may be Mumbai branch who is doing very well and the financial position is good. But at the same time, there is a branch in Hyderabad is who is not performing well. So you, by comparing, by preparing financial record only, you will come to know about the financial position of each and every branch. Yes or no? The next aim to know the cash and the goods requirement of various branches. But if you don't prepare accounting or if you don't do the accounting of each and every branch, you're not able to come to know that how much stock is there with the branch and how much stock they need at the same time for their daily expenses, to what amount of cash they need. Correct? If there is excess cash in the branch, we'll ask them to, yes, we'll ask them to remit to the head office, na beta? And if there is a shortage of cash or the branch in need of cash, we have to give them cash to uh, do their function properly. Then to evaluate the progress and performance of each and every branch, we should prepare accounting or branch accounting is done. Okay, and the last part, that how much commission to be paid to the manager, that again we come to know with the help of accounting only. So these are the main objective of having branch accounting. Correct? Any doubt, any confusion till here? Anyone? Any doubt, any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Then the next part is there are two different types of branch. As I said, first type is your dependent branch and second one is independent branch. Can anyone tries to tell me the difference between these two? What do you mean by dependent branch and what is mean by the independent branch? Anyone? Just try, na beta? Come on.
The dependent branch depend upon the head office और independent they records it मतलब वो अपना अकाउंट खुद देखते हो
Okay.
independent.
Okay, very good. But just see, dependent branch is the branch which is dependent on head office for its every transactions or for every need. Okay, even books of accounts is also maintained by the head office only in the case of dependent branch. But in case of independent branch, the account, each and every independent branch do the accounting separately. They don't depend on the head office for their accounting purpose and for their requirement, their material, everything. They, no doubt, they remit the amount or whatever excess cash is there, they have to give it to the head office, but they are not dependent on head office for their each and every material or the cash or the appointment and all. Correct? So the basic difference between these two type of branch, dependent and independent, is that the dependent branch is totally dependent on head office for each and every function. Okay, in our syllabus we don't have independent branch. So independent, there are again two methods of accounting is done. The first method is called as dator method. Okay, and the second method is called as stock and dator method. Okay, so again under dator method also, the goods which is sent by head office, see, I'm not telling you that goods is sell by the head office to the branch. Goods is always sent by head office to the branch. Okay, the method we can follow for sending the goods to the head office is, again, we have two methods in that. There are two types how the goods can be sent to the branches. First is goods can be sent to the branch at cost price, and second is the goods can be sent to branch at invoice price. These are the two methods we have for sending the goods. Okay, for sending the goods to the branches. Again, the accounting treatment is also a little different for both the cases or for both the types. And the second method also, in stock and data method, goods can be sent to branch at cost, or goods can be sent to branch at invoice price. We are further again, we'll discuss this two methods in detail in coming slides. So this first part is complete. Fine. So, bacha, now there are types as we discussed early in earlier slide also. The dependent branch, the dependent branches are not keeping their full system of accounting. Okay, they hardly maintain any of accounts just to keep a track that how much money we have received or we are sent to the head office, but they don't keep any detailed accounting books. Okay, in dependent branches, for the dependent branches, all records are maintained by whom? Come on. Independent branch, all accounts are maintained by whom? Come on, tell me.
Head office.
Head
Yes,
office.
exactly. It is maintained by head office. Okay, beta. And in independent branch, as we discussed, the full detailed accounting system is maintained by independent branches. Okay. See, branches keeping full system of accounting for every transaction, whether it is coming from the head office or from the customer or from the data, whatever it may be. So each and every detailed accounting system they have to develop and they have to keep record intact. Okay, everyone, any doubt in this two type? But this may come for objective also. Okay, so if you have any doubt, any confusion, please unmute yourself and ask to me. Should I move to next slide now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, beta. Accounting treatment for the dependent branch. When a branch is totally controlled by head office in terms of its policy. See, for the dependent branch, the policies is also be framed by whom? The policies are framed by head office. That's administration. Branch administration is also taken care by the head office. Okay, their appointment. Okay, what salary we have to give to the staff. Okay, what will be the facilities given to the staff. Okay, what expenses branches have to incur, for that cash amount is also given by the head office. That means for everything, every single thing, branch is totally dependent on the head office. See, the head office in such case maintain the accounts of the branch and ascertain the profit or loss earned by the branch. Branch don't have to bother about the profit or loss made by them. Okay, no doubt they are answerable, the branch manager is answerable for that, but they don't have to keep track of the profit or loss or the sale made by them. Each and everything is prepared by head office. As the name suggests, it is dependent on the head office for all its activity and does not enjoy much discriminatory power. That means the powers, any decisions cannot be taken by the branch here in the dependent branch. Okay, there are certain decisions. Okay, in emergency situations, the branch manager can take certain decisions. Okay, now see, in the current scenario and during the pandemic, you may be aware that various branch, okay, the various branches all over the country may be disconnected from the head office, na, may not be getting the material from the head office because of that transport and all, everything was shut down. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Due to lockdown. So in that emergency situation, manager is being given some power to purchase material from their local market or take some steps which is beneficial for the branch. Okay, and the last point, it does not have a separate bank account for its transaction. Rather, it operates through the head office bank account, and at the same time, whatever amount they get from the customers or if whatever cash they receive, okay, from the customer or from the daily collection, they deposit in the head office bank account. Is this part is clear, beta? Any doubt, any confusion till here? Anyone?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, the next part is the some features we have about the dependent branch. The first one, such branches sell only those goods which are received from the head office and are not usually allowed to make purchase from the open market. As I said, for each and every single thing, they are dependent totally on head office. So whatever material is sent by head office, they have to sell that only. If there is any shortage of material, they are not allowed to get it from the open market. That restrictions is there. Okay, they have to inform head office for that, and if head office send that material to them, they are allowed to sell. Otherwise, they can't sell or they cannot buy the material from outside. Okay, then next one, goods are supplied by head office to such branches either at cost price or at invoice price. But can you tell me the difference between these two? Any one of you? What do you
Yes
mean by the
sir.
cost price or invoice price?
Sir, invoice price मतलब cost plus load.
Okay, very good. See, beta, I as a head office, I can send this material, my material to my branches at cost price. Whatever at price I am making, I'll simply send to the branches. At the same time, there is another way of doing this, that goods can be sent at invoice price. That means I will uh, calculate what is the cost of that material. I will add certain margin in that and then I will send it to the branches. Is this two types are clear, or two way of sending the goods to the branches are clear to you, everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. The next is, next feature is all expenses of branch such as rent, salary to staff, advertisement, then their maintenance charges. Okay, their even assets are sent by the head office. Okay, so whatever material are sent by head office to the branches, each and everything is recorded in the books of head office. What assets they have sent you, like furniture and all, everything, whatever expenses they are incurred for the branches, they will record. They will means head office will record in their books. Okay, then for the petty cash also, for the small expenses, okay, for petty expenses also, uh, head office sent uh, head office will send you that separate cash. We'll name it as petty cash. Okay, and every month head office will ensure that whatever amount is set for the petty cash expenses, branch have that amount in their hand. Okay, whatever amount they spent, okay, that will be remitted by the head office again. Okay, so in every month starting, the petty cash amount will remain same. Is this clear, everyone? For each and every expenses, whatever expenses the branch is doing, they have to give a record of that to the head office, and accordingly whatever amount they spend out of petty cash, it is given by the head office to the branch. Is this part is clear, everyone? Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one is the amount received from cash sales or cash received from data is either remitted to the head office daily basis or deposit in the account of the head office at the some local banks. We have a different branches of bank also, na beta? Okay, suppose your head office is in Mumbai and they have an account in Mumbai branch. So whatever amount this branch is getting from the customers or from the daters, they can deposit in their local branch. Suppose this head office have a account in Bank of Maharashtra in Mumbai at the same time, and you have a branch in Pune. So the Pune branch will deposit the amount in the Pune branch of Bank of Maharashtra. So in the account of whose account they are going to deposit? Head office account. They have the common account number. Now you can deposit money from anywhere from the in the country. Yes or no? You can deposit money from anywhere in the country. Yes or no? You are aware of this now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That is the simple thing now. If you have any account in any of the branch throughout the country, you just know the account number and IFSC code number. You simply can deposit the amount in any of the local branches of that particular bank. Correct? So the next part is the branch manager is normally expected to sell the goods for cash only, but he may be authorized to sell goods on the credit in certain cases. See, beta. Now, what is the problem? Why branch manager is not allowed to sell goods on credit in normal situation? Can you give me any answer for this?
सर उसे हिसाब देना होगा हेड ऑफिस के लिए.
Correct. Very good. So वो तो क्रेडिट का भी हिसाब दे सकता है ना. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? What is that big problem in that? He can give.
सर मे बी वो एरिया नया है, पता नहीं कि वहाँ कस्टमर्स कैसे है या कुछ, तो पता नहीं कि पैसा मिलेगा कि नहीं.
Okay, very good. Bacha, as I said, which type of branch accounting we are doing here? Dependent. Correct? Everyone?
Dependent.
Yes, it is dependent branch. That means for everything, for every single transaction, for every decisions, branch is dependent on head office. So the question is, if there is a chances of bad dates, who is responsible for that? So ये आता है ना क्वेश्चन कि अगर बैड डेट्स हो गया तो who is responsible? Branch manager तो see, as it is a dependent branch, beta, for every transaction they are always see the help or they need this decisions from the head office ना. They need instruction from the head office. अभी suppose मेरे पास ऐसी 25 ब्रांच है पूरे देश में, ओके और यहाँ पे मैंने उनको अलाउ कर दिया बेचो, उधारी में भी बेचो चलेगा. Then what will happen? You know, there are chances I lose my money in bad dates, because ब्रांच मैनेजर ने तो यही बोलना है ना कि भाई मैं तो डिपेंडेंट ब्रांच हूं, मैं रिकॉर्ड भी नहीं रखता हूं, मैं कैसे ट्रेस करूं और कौन पीछे भागेगा बैड डेट्स के. डेटर्स ने पैसा नहीं दिया तो who is responsible? Who is going to collect the money? As you said, it is dependent branch. So यहाँ पे branch manager simply can escape by saying sir मुझे नहीं मालूम, वो पैसा नहीं दे रहा है. And head office cannot run behind every debtors, say पैसा दो पैसा दो पैसा दो. Is it possible? If you have 25, 35 or 100 branches all over the country, ये possible है क्या? Yes or no?
नो सर.
यस एग्जैक्टली. अच्छा जस्ट एक एग्जांपल तो जो आपने बहुत सारे ब्रांच मुंबई में देखे होंगे, ऐसा कोई आउटलेट है जिसका बहुत सारा ब्रांच है? बताओ. हैव यू सीन?
बाटा सर.
बाटा. ओके.
बाटा.
एनी अदर? बाटा है. वेरी गुड.
रेमंड.
रेमंड. यस.
एलन सॉली.
हाँ. यस, कम अगेन.
मैगडी.
मैगडी. एग्जैक्टली. मैगडी के भी हर आपको ऑलमोस्ट हर स्टेशन पे ब्रांच मिल जाएंगे ना. अभी सपोज चलो हमारे संतोष जी है, वो अंधेरी मैगडी में रोज बर्गर खाते हैं केक, है ना संतोष? हेलो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ, सो हमारे संतोष जी है जो रोज मैगडी में जाके बर्गर खाते हैं. और गंगा जाते हैं ये कौन से ब्रांच में? कांदीवली ब्रांच में. चलो ये मान लिया. अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि चलो 2-4 दिन जाने के बाद क्या वो मैगडी वाला आपको फ्री में भी बर्गर दे देगा या उधारी में देगा? आप तो रोज आते हो सर, कल पैसा दे दो चलेगा.
नहीं सर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं चलेगा.
ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज द प्रॉब्लम इज विद द ब्रांचेस, दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू सेल ऑन क्रेडिट, बिकॉज who again the question comes, who will take the responsibility of recovering the money from that debtors? That is a big question. That is why the branch manager is not allowed. Okay, that is why the branch manager is not allowed to sell goods on credit. Okay, because they don't want to take the responsibility. No doubt they are interested in increasing the sale, but they are not ready to take the responsibility. Okay, just visiting for 4-5 times into any particular outlet, they cannot give you, or they are not allowed to give you first of all the credit transaction, or they are not allowed to give you credit. Okay, have you understood why the branch manager is not allowed to give you credit? Because again they are not going to take the responsibility of recovering the money. They are on the salaried basis, na beta. They are on salaried basis. They are going to get the salary, whether sale is 100 rupees or sale is 1 crore rupees. Correct, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So the next part, the such branches do not maintain their own books of account, and all records are maintained by head office. Okay, so this is the next important we can say feature we have, that all records are maintained by head office. So it is very difficult for them also to trace the credit transaction, okay, to keep a track of credit transaction. That is why generally all branches deal in cash. Okay, everyone, is this part is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
bacha. Okay, fine. Then next one is the debtors method. Next one is debtors method, that again we are going to discuss in detail, that what are the types we can have under dependent method, dependent branches. So first one, as I said, it is debtors method. In this system, bacha, all head office, okay, in this method, all the branches records are kept by head office by maintaining one simple account. We called it as branch account. Let's say if I have a branch in Goa, I will as a head office, I will maintain only one account. I'll name this Goa branch account. If I have branch in Nashik, I will write Nashik branch account. Simple. And the simple branch account I will prepare, which records only expenses or amount coming from the branch, all assets sent to the branch, all liabilities, okay, all liabilities of the branches. Simple. That simple branch account, as I said, the one branch account will record this basic information. It will keep a track of assets sent to the branch, liabilities of the branch, expenses incurred by the branch, amount sent to the branch, and whatever amount received from the branch. Simple account we prepare. Okay, it works as a nominal account. Okay, beta. And under this also, in debtors method also, we have two way of sending the goods. As I said, what are the two ways? Goods can be sent at cost price, and second one, come on, tell me.
Invoice price.
Goods can be
Invoice
sent at
price.
invoice price. Correct? So goods can be sent at invoice price. So these are the two ways. Only simple one or two entries are different in this both the cases, whether you send goods on cost price or invoice price. Once or two simple transactions we have to adjust, one or simple general entries we have to adjust. Rest all entries common are same. Okay, all rest entries are common for both the methods, and they are, the accounting treatment is most of all accounting treatment are same in this particular method. Okay, the second method which we call is stock and debtors method. Branch accounting part 3 slides. Is it visible, beta, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
bacha. Now see, this is the pro forma or format of branch account, how it look like. See, on the debit side, we have details of all assets sent by head office to the branch. And this account we prepare in whose book? Come on, tell me. Branch or head office? This account we prepare in whose book? Come on, tell me fast.
Head office.
head
Yes,
office.
exactly. So in head office, the branch account will look like this. On debit side, we have record of all opening balances of all assets, stock, debtor, cash, fixed asset, prepaid. And on credit side, if you see, we have details of all liabilities like creditors, outstanding expenses and all. And on debit side, again, we have record of goods sent to branch, whether it is sent by head office or whether it is sent by other branch. Okay, then we'll have a record of cash sent to the branch. Okay, whether it is sent by head office or whether it is sent by any other branch for this particular branch. Okay, again, if any expense, if there is any expense which is incurred by head office for the branch, that also will recorded here. Okay, and on credit side, we have a record of whatever goods are returned by the branch to the head office. See, when I send the goods to the branch, there is a possibility that if there is any defective goods or if there is any excess goods, that goods will be returned by branch to the head office. Na? Yes or no? So that record we'll have on the credit side of the branch account. Okay, that may be returned by the branch to head office, or that may be returned by customer directly to the head office. That also will come here. Okay, whatever amount given by the branch to the head office, that will come here. We call it as remittance, amount of remittance. Okay, that we have to prepare and we have to find out. Okay, then the record. See, on the credit side we have a closing balance of all the, on the credit side we have closing balance of all the assets. See, stock, debtors, cash, fixed asset. On the debit side we have all closing balance of the liabilities. Okay beta, when you close this branch account, we simply can find out what is the balance, or we can say what is the profit earned by that particular branch. Is this part is clear to you everyone? Any doubt, any confusion about the branch account, how it look like? No doubt, when we take up the problems, we'll discuss this in detail. Okay, any doubt, any confusion till here?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Then see, when the goods are sent at invoice price, we have to simple adjust that profit, that load. One student, as I said, the part of invoice price include the loading part, the profit margin. Okay, the margin part, we have to adjust that part. Okay, the only that one small difference is there between these two methods of sending the goods under debtor method, that is stock, whether goods are sent at cost price or whether goods are sent at invoice price. So one, that loading part we have to adjust, simple. Okay, then next one is the second method of maintaining books under dependent branch. There is a, see this method, under this method the books are maintained in detail. Again it is maintained by head office, but the books are maintained in detail by opening various accounts. Okay, see, that is why we call it as, it is elaborated method of keeping the branch account, and consider the very useful where the branch turnover is sufficiently large and where the great degree of control is needed. Okay, next one is, see how, if the goods are under the stock and data method, under stock and data method, when the goods are sent at cost price, then we have to open this many accounts named as branch stock account, goods sent to branch account, branch debtors account, branch cash account, branch expenses account, and branch P&L account. When we are going to open this account, bacha, when the goods are, or when the branches, or when the books are maintained as per which method? When the books are maintained as per stock and data method. And under data's method, only data's method, we have to open only one basic account. We call it as branch account. Okay, and we have to open this account also in that goods sent to branch account, but it is only hardly 4-5 line account, only having a record of how much goods we have sent to the branch. That's it. Okay, but when you are opening, when you are preparing, when you are maintaining books as per stock and data method, we have to open branch account, goods sent to branch account, branch debtors, branch cash, branch expense, and branch P&L. That is why I said this branch, this system of maintaining books keep records in detail. Yes or no? Any doubt, any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Then next way of goods sending to the branch is goods can be sent at invoice price also, na beta. So see, the list of account which we are going to prepare under stock and data method is branch stock, branch adjustment, goods sent to branch, branch debtors, branch cash, branch expense, and branch P&L. See, the only difference is this part. Are you able to see? This is the only difference we have to, we can see as per whether goods are sent at cost or whether goods are sent at invoice price. Only one additional account you have to prepare. We call it as branch adjustment account. We call this as branch adjustment account. Yes or no? See, branch stock, simply this keeps a record of all stock sent by head office to the branch. Okay, opening, closing, and all that data we have to keep there. Then branch data will have a record of datas of branches. Okay, whatever branch we are maintaining, whose account we are maintaining, the data's detail of that branch we have to keep in this opening balance, closing balance, how much credit sales you have did in this particular year or month, and whatever the amount we have received from that data, that track will be kept here. Then branch cash, what is the opening cash, what is the closing cash, what is the amount sent to the branch, what is the amount received from the branch, that all track we keep in branch cash account. Then branch expenses, see beta, earlier in data method we have a branch account where we record everything, but in this stock and data method we keep branch expenses separate. All expenses related to branch we keep in separate branch expense account. Okay, and this branch profit and loss give me the final answer of whether branches are making profit or loss. Is this part is clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then this is the last slide. Okay, so topic explanation, branch accounting is done. Thank you so much.